Aya Wilson wins Sporting News 2025 Female Athlete of the Year. Aya Wilson turned a season that teetered on failure into a defining run, blending dominant play with steady leadership to guide the Las Vegas Aces to a championship. Her 2025 campaign stitched together awards, dramatic momentum shifts, and clutch performances that left little doubt why she emerged as one of the year's top athletes. Why 2025 stands out for Aya Wilson and the Las Vegas Aces. Wilson collected hardware and headlines, but the story goes deeper than trophies. Mid-season turbulence, a locker room wake-up, and a flawless finish reshaped the narrative. J.J. McCarthy out, hand injury after Brian Burns' bone-crushing hit. Tate McRae and Jack Hughes spark dating rumors in flirty NYC outing. Season accolades and elite numbers. Those awards reflect consistent dominance. Across 8 seasons, she repeatedly reset expectations for what a modern center can do. From a mid-season low to an unstoppable streak, the Aces hit a dramatic low point in early August. One loss exposed deeper problems. That moment produced a candid locker room address from Wilson. Teammate Kia Stokes described it as honest and direct, not harsh. Wilson told the group they all needed to contribute. She then followed up with a calmer message to smooth over feelings. The response: Las Vegas did not lose again in the regular season. They reeled off 16 straight wins and closed at 30-14, an astonishing flip from mid-season doubt to sustained excellence. How leadership translated into wins. Wilson's influence was both on court and off. Her ownership of mistakes and repeated calls for collective effort galvanized teammates. In one late-season game, Las Vegas set a league mark with 22 made threes. Wilson, a 6'3" center who rarely shot from deep early in her career, drilled a few of those long-range attempts herself. Playoff grind and clutch moments. The postseason was far from smooth, and Wilson answered when the Aces needed her most. Fever coach Stephanie White highlighted Wilson's expanded skill set, noting how difficult it is to guard her face-up game and movement off screens. Wilson's versatility forced opponents into tougher defensive choices and wear on their key defenders. How Aya Wilson's game evolved into a modern superstar model. Wilson arrived in the league as a dominant interior presence. Over time, she added layers: perimeter shooting, face-up attacking, and refined off-ball movement. Coaches and rivals point to her high release on shots and her basketball IQ. Those traits let her produce tough, efficient scoring while remaining a defensive anchor. Recognition beyond the WNBA. Wilson's 2025 success earned wider acclaim. Sporting News named her Female Athlete of the Year, pairing her with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander for the male award. Previous winners include global icons, underscoring the significance of her season. Teammates praised her humility and selflessness. Stokes recalled how Wilson shared credit and remained a quiet, steady leader in tight moments. That combination of talent and temperament proved decisive in high-pressure games. Kyle Pitts enters shockingly elite tier in NFL tight end history. Tyler Chase, homeless Nickelodeon actor, heartbreaking poetry resurfaces after viral videos. Some awards arrive quietly, like a line in a resume. Others land with the weight of inevitability, as if the season itself had been steering toward a single name all along. When Sporting News named Aya Wilson its 2025 Female Athlete of the Year, it felt less like a surprise and more like a moment of recognition catching up to reality. The honor did not crown a fleeting star or reward a single hot stretch. It acknowledged a player who had already redefined excellence and then, somehow, raised the bar again. Aya Wilson's career has always been about motion, upward, forward, relentless. From her early days as a phenom to her status as the heartbeat of the Las Vegas Aces, Wilson has never stood still. But 2025 was different. It wasn't just dominant, it was definitive. It was the kind of year that forces a sport to recalibrate its language around greatness. At the center of it all was Wilson's command of the court. Her game, equal parts power and poetry, unfolded like a masterclass in modern basketball. She scored with the authority of someone who knew the paint belonged to her, yet she passed with a generosity that elevated everyone around her. Defensive possessions bent to her will. Screens cracked open space. Rebounds ended arguments. When the aces needed calm, she provided it. When they needed fire, she supplied the spark. But statistics alone, however dazzling, could never fully explain why 2025 belonged to Aya Wilson. Numbers can tell you how many points were scored or rebounds secured. They cannot capture the way she tilted the emotional gravity of a game. Opponents adjusted entire game plans around her presence. Fans leaned forward in their seats because something decisive always seemed one possession away. Teammates spoke about her not just as a star, but as a stabilizer, the player who made chaos manageable. Leadership for Wilson has never been loud for the sake of volume. It is deliberate. She leads by demanding excellence without draining joy from the room. During timeouts, she listened as much as she spoke. During practice, she pushed without humiliating. And in moments when the spotlight grew unforgiving, she absorbed pressure rather than redirecting it. That quality, rare and difficult to teach, became one of the defining threads of her 2025 season. The Sporting News Award also recognized something larger than one season. It acknowledged Wilson as a bridge between eras. Women's basketball is experiencing a cultural acceleration, new audiences, louder conversations, bigger expectations. In that landscape, Wilson stands as both proof and promise. Proof that sustained greatness still matters in an age obsessed with novelty. Promise that excellence, when paired with authenticity, can carry a sport forward. Wilson's influence extended far beyond the hardwood. She spoke openly about confidence, about mental health, about the responsibility that comes with visibility. Young players saw in her a future that did not require shrinking or softening. She was unapologetically herself, strong, joyful, competitive, thoughtful, and that wholeness resonated. In 2025, her voice mattered not because it chased controversy, but because it carried conviction. There were moments during the year that felt almost cinematic. A late-game stop that sealed a win. A stretch of dominance that turned doubt into silence. A post-game interview where Wilson deflected praise back to her teammates, as if greatness were something to be shared rather than hoarded. Each moment added another brushstroke to a season-long portrait. What makes this award particularly meaningful is its scope. Sporting News does not limit its vision to one league or one style of dominance. By choosing Wilson, it placed her performance in conversation with athletes across all sports, players who carried franchises, countries, and expectations on their shoulders. Wilson belonged in that conversation not as a token representative, but as a standard bearer. There is also something deeply human about the way Wilson reached this moment. Her journey has included setbacks, criticism, and the constant recalibration that elite athletes must endure. She did not glide effortlessly to the top. She climbed, adjusted, learned, and grew. By 2025, she was not just at the peak of her powers, she understood how she got there.